I can probably say for the interviews that we have had, you can probably tell me half of my life story. The other half is just kind of in the pages.
But I learned so much.
A warm welcome from Lionel Richie, who's been working endlessly to put together the pages of his life story.
I realized that not only do you want to talk about the fun stuff, you have to talk about the painful stuff. And that was the toughest, Robin. Listen to me.
What is a story that you've never said out loud until now in this book?
Well, I grew up totally in fear. I didn't know what ADHD was. I didn't know, can you play baseball? Nah. Football? No. Basketball? No. Tennis? Kinda. Everything was kinda. What do you do well? Do you want to stand in front of the class? No. I was very anxious about everything. And at the same time, I kept trying to fake it, put myself forward. I kind of found some new areas of my life that I didn't know I had in me. And the essence of this book is the discovery of Lionel Richie.
His new memoir, Truly, reveals the lessons Lionel learned in his transformative rise to fame.
Some of it was so outrageous, I had a hard time believing everything that happened. And I lived it. And some of it was so painful, I wanted to forget it ever happened. But I survived it. And through it all, I became the person that I am today.
The title, an ode to his first solo single, seen here performing Truly on Top of the Pops.
Because I'm truly in love with you, girl.
The song earning him his first Grammy. Lionel beginning his early years in Tuskegee, Alabama, where I was born, and how those years influenced the man he is today.
In one respect, it created the person that sees the world the way I see the world, which is the world. On another hand, I thought they left out a lot of the pain of it.
Performing at talent shows as a freshman at the then Tuskegee Institute in the late 60s ultimately led Lionel to the Commodores.
You once
known for timeless tracks like 3 Times a Lady.
3 times a lady.
Performed here on the iconic Soul Train.
Let's talk about the Commodores. The
Well,
Commodores!
Thank God for the Commodores, because I never would have discovered Lionel Richie. Because I found something in my life that was never present until I joined the band.
Do you have a favorite Commodore song?
Brick House will always be, forget about it. This was the only song where I thought my grandmother was actually going to disown me. I thought it was kind of disgraceful myself until it became a hit.
After over a decade of hits and touring across the world, the shocking split.
This is the closest thing to brothers I've ever had in my whole life. And they pushed me. I grew up with these guys. I was having such a moment of discovery that I could write that I didn't realize that, okay, that's a hit, and then that's a hit, and that's a hit.
If you wrote the song, you got more money.
You wrote the song, you're the writer of that song. You get a check for the sales of that song as a writer. And you write, and you write, and it's a hit, and it's a hit, and it's a hit, and it's a hit.
And later.
In 1980, Lionel producing an album and writing the love song Lady for country artist Kenny Rogers. 2 years later, Lionel leaving the Commodores. Richie and Rogers forming a close friendship and performing Lady together years later at the CMT Crossroads.
And the only reason I didn't think too much about it was because, I wasn't excited about giving the song away anyway, but I did. And it's only because the group wanted not to have a love ballads. And then the press started writing. And this was the killer, What's a guy like Lionel Richie doing in a funk band like the Commodores? I tried to go back to a group rehearsal, and it became very tough. And so it was one of those moments where, I wasn't quite sure how to navigate that. But overall, it was, okay, but what does solo mean?
And this is something that you wrote. You said, I started to think, I might be good at writing love songs, but I am not good at it. When you look back...
I wrote that. Did I write that?
You wrote that?
In 1975, Lionel and his longtime college sweetheart Brenda tying the knot. With their marriage on the decline, Lionel meeting Diane, a dancer, at his 1984 Olympic performance. In 1995, Lionel marrying Diane, the couple divorcing 9 years later.
When you look back at your previous marriages, what would you tell your younger self?
First of all, I have to forgive myself. And what I do, first of all, is I had to take full responsibility and say, it's my fault. Why is it my fault? Because it's growth. You're growing. And each time you think, okay, this is the peak. No, it's just another plateau, but you're still going this way. So I always say to myself, the most painful thing about growth is outgrowing.
In the book, Lionel recalls his once tumultuous love life, opening up about a public confrontation between Brenda and Diane.
You talk about what you considered, you said it was the scandal of your century. And talking about your first wife, Brenda, showing up at the home of someone you were seeing at the time, Diane, you were there.
Who became my second wife.
Yes.
Right.
Anything you would change about that day?
No. I realize now that it had to happen some kind of way. The only thing I hate about that is the humiliation, not only for me, but for Bryn and for Diane. But you realize that that's a part of the story. It's not so much the world story as much as it was personal. I don't like hurting people. It was painful watching someone that you loved in pain, someone that you cared about in pain. I'm crying just to be close to you. I'm crying to my own music.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
One of the most influential songs of his career, We Are the World. The star-studded 1985 filming seen here in the legendary music video. Visiting the studio where Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie co-wrote the song, produced by Quincy Jones. Recording 45 artists in one room to raise funds for famine relief in Ethiopia.
40 years ago, it's like a blink. And you look around that beautiful picture and you say, Michael, Tina, think about it. Diana, Quincy, Smokey, Ray. Ray.
Oh, and you got Kenny.
Come on.
Al Jarreau.
Springsteen.
I know.
More of you is what I need.
That was powerful.
For 8 seasons and counting.
That was something so spectacular. I just can't even describe what I heard.
Lionel Richie inspiring the next generation of artists as a judge on American Idol.
And on American Idol, what is it like when they come out and you say that sometimes you see a young version of yourself and sometimes it brings tears to your eyes?
God, this is good. This is a good interview. I'm enjoying this. The kids remind me of two things. A, how blessed I am, and what I need to do as a mentor. I'm not there to humiliate them. They're already scared to death. And then I realize that they need something probably more than a criticism. They need a hug.
Our thanks to Robin. For much more of this deeply personal conversation, be sure to watch Impact by Nightline, Truly Lionel Richie, a conversation with Robin Roberts, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.